Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. So, base building, it appears to be evolving from what we were first told with the reveal of the Pioneer back in 2017. Well, today I would like to go over the new information we heard surrounding base building and what we can expect to see once it begins to come online. To quickly recap, when the Pioneer was announced alongside land claims, the idea behind how players will construct outposts was pretty simple. You fill the Pioneer with the necessary raw materials, choose what type of outpost you want, be that a storage or habitation or whatever, hit the button and let it do its magic hidden away inside a magic box, and then plop it down on a planet where you want it to be. We were all very excited to hear this is going to be a thing, but I always wondered if it was going to expand in some way with other outpost styles, and thought that the Pioneer was slightly restricted in where it can place these outposts due to its size. Well, recently Chris Roberts shed some light into the new future of base building and the Pioneer's role, and personally it is everything that I've been hoping for. So the long and short of it is, instead of placing a singular outpost building using the Pioneer, we will be able to place down various prefabricated structures and then connect them together without even needing the use of a Pioneer, doing this all by hand by yourself. So doors, walls, roofs, floors, similar to Fallout 4's building to some degree, of which I have probably spent hundreds of hours building homes for my NPC villagers. But in Star Citizen, once you've built these structures, you will need to then connect them to things like power generators, defensive turrets, resource collectors, water tanks, farm pods, and many more that CIG can think of. This means that you will be able to purchase these prefabbed sections and items from shops around the verse and in some way place them together on foot. Now, it hasn't been explained yet as to how exactly players will build and connect these items or these sections together, but my guess will be via a hand or ship tractor beam and potentially various hand tools if they plan to go that deep. Now, when it comes to the Pioneer, it will still have a very useful purpose, as it will serve as a mobile fabrication facility, so no longer creating a single outpost, which was very restrictive anyway due to its classic rectangular magic box. Now it'll create these prefabricated sections that you would otherwise have to either fly to pick up or have someone transport to you. So for example, let's say you want to build a simple single homestead with 4 walls, 2 with windows and 1 with a door, plus a roof and a floor. Now, if you have a Pioneer, so long as you have the necessary raw materials to manufacture those items, you can be sat by your homestead location and have them built there and then ready to be put together. Without the use of a Pioneer, you would need to order the items from a store or however they plan on doing this, and either physically go and pick them up yourself or have someone fly them to your location before you can even begin building them. So great for creating work for other players, but it does mean that you will have to wait for delivery. So the Pioneer will be a very useful tool for building larger settlements or a single homestead much quicker than you could without one. What is very exciting about this is that you are no longer restricted by whether the Pioneer can fit into a location that you want to place a home. So for example, in the middle of a forest or a jungle where the Pioneer cannot land due to a thick canopy. Instead, you'll be able to load up, say, a ground vehicle, more on vehicles soon, and drive to the desired location and construct it yourself. And this could be anywhere you want. It also means that we will now be able to construct bases and buildings inside of caves, something that we have all wanted for will now be possible, so long as you can carry or drive the prefab section into the cave, and then you can have a cave base. It also means that even if you don't have the official rights to build a base on a particular section of land, be that in an unclaimed system or you just didn't bother asking for permission, you won't need to have a Pioneer drawing huge attention to the fact that you're building where you shouldn't be. So long as you've got a ship that can carry in whatever tiny shack that you want, you can build hidden away on a cliff edge or amongst trees or by a river or an ocean. The limitations are pretty much disappearing now. Another problem that the Pioneer presented was that it appeared to be limited by only one style of design, the outposts that we see everywhere. This magic box was specifically shaped to only create outposts. And now looking at some of these new concept designs for colonial building shapes, it was clear that the Pioneer wouldn't be able to construct them as the magic box wouldn't allow it. So setting the Pioneer as a mobile fabrication facility means that you can now create the various aspects of each building type in the magic box, expanding the Pioneer's scope and use. What I would love to see, and this is just my idea, it's not been confirmed in any way, but is the ability to visit a certain location where maybe a particular architectural style is prominent and then buy blueprints for that style. You could then store those blueprints on the Pioneer's building computer, and so long as you have the appropriate raw materials on board, you can build that style. Or even take those blueprints to whatever the store or shop that manufactures prefabs and order the pieces that way. This would mean being able to have a homestead of whatever style and look that you want, build it where you want, provided that you have the blueprints and materials to do so. So I really hope that they go in that direction. Now, CIG are only scratching the surface of building styles and designs that will come for player-owned homesteads and bases. We will see a huge array of various styles coming out, most of which will likely appear for NPC settlements, villages and homesteads first, dotted around Stanton's planets and moons to fill out what we have so far with Stanton and eventually every other system. But I do expect that whatever style we see will be an option to build for ourselves. So, emergent gameplay, which CIG always tried to allow, creating simple mechanics that create deep gameplay, bringing players together. Now, this new building system really expands to allow more and more players to interact with other players. For example, let's say I find a perfect spot on Microtech to build my little modest homestead. Land claims aside, I have an idea of the style and type of homestead I want. I know the items that I need, and I'll use my Mobiglass to purchase these prefabbed items from a store at a major landing zone which manufacture them. Now, I don't have the means to pick them up and fly them to me personally, as I only have, let's say, an Aurora. So while those prefabbed items are sat in containers in Port Tressler's cargo deck, I request someone to pick them up and bring them to me for X amount of UEC, providing a mission for another player. Alternatively, I could probably just put out a service beacon for a Pioneer with the capabilities of constructing said homestead and pay them directly. But once the order is placed, other jobs that will be created for players include the need for the raw material gathering, so miners gathering the necessary ores or salvagers providing scrap metal to recycle to go to these manufacturing locations and construct these prefabbed items before they even get shipped to me. The same goes for using the Pioneer. It will need to be continuously stocked with raw materials, so having haulers travelling back and forth with these goods will be vital to keep production flowing. Now, something that I am occasionally asked during my stream is, do you expect to see more base building vehicles other than the Pioneer? Now, originally I always just said yes due to how constricted the Pioneer was. But even now, with its new ability as a fabrication factory, I still 100% expect to see more base building specific vehicles. Other mobile fabrication facilities from other ship manufacturers in the future seems very likely, which would more than likely include ground-based vehicles as well. What I want to know myself though is just what method will we be using to physically construct these buildings in first person. Will it be a simple drag drop using augmented reality like what we have seen in, say, Fallout 4, or will it be a little bit more hands-on using hand tools or vehicles, similar to how all other Star Citizen mechanics will work, requiring actual tactile skill and equipment? At the very least, I suspect the need for a multi-tool tractor beam, and also when CIG start delving into the repair mechanics, I wonder if that will shed some light into how we will be putting together these buildings. Something that I find very exciting about this base building system is that just like your ships and vehicles, homesteads will require power to have the lights on, to operate life support or any electrical devices. You will also need water collectors to provide drinking water, communication towers to allow you to, say, tune into the Spectrum and watch the latest Satterball game or Murray Cup race, farming pods to grow your own fruit and vegetables, or turret and missile emplacements to fend off would-be trespassers, all hooked up using the same resource generation and item control system we see in ships. Also, with the upcoming physicalized damage and wear and tear system, you will need to keep these buildings maintained and functioning, which leaves me wondering just how many of these outposts and bases will become derelict and left to rot after serving their purpose, ready perhaps for salvagers to clean up. What is equally exciting about all of this is that we are no longer years away. We are talking potentially next year sometime, with Chris Roberts stating, "We've been working on tools to build structures or homesteads both for our artists and designers," think more of an RTS godlike view, and for players in first person view. So the work has already begun on the base building system, and by the time the iCache and Global Persistence comes online, hopefully sometime mid to late 2021, features like base building will be ready to deploy. Anyway, that is why I'm extremely excited to hear Chris Roberts' latest thoughts on base building. The gameplay this system will bring is massive, and as I say, this is no longer years away, it is getting built right now. But with that said, do let me know if you're excited for base building and whether I've missed anything off. Also, let me know where and what type of building you want for your first homestead. Be sure to hit that subscribe button as we are fast approaching 30,000 subscribers, and I will be giving away a Star Runner as a way to say thank you. Do tick that notification bell if you want to be notified when my videos go live, and if you can do me a big favour, hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. If you want to talk more about base building or anything Star Citizen, do follow the link in the description to twitch.tv/SuperMacBrothersRyan. We are having some great conversations right now, and everybody is welcome. Again, thank you to my patrons and channel members for all of their support, allowing me to do these kinds of videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.